Ashley H is gone, and I don't think she's coming back. Sorry, Casey and everybody. We have a special guest tonight on the after show. It's Ashley G here. Stay tuned, guys. This is the Temptation Island after show.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, okay.
Hi,
y'all. Turn up tonight.
guys.
And you know why we so turned tonight? Because we got a special guest. And I'm going to introduce her a little bit later. Before we get started, I got to let you guys know that I am AJ. And I could not do this without my co-host. I got Miss Lexi over here.
Hey, everybody.
And hey, Missy.
Hey guys.
And everybody. Our special guest tonight is Ashley G. Hey, girl.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. Enjoying my
Yes,
night.
we have a lot to talk about. We
Yes.
got a lot to get into, and we got some tweets later because you know y'all be going in on Twitter, so we gotta bring the heat to the studio.
Definitely
because
do.
yes, oh man, so much went on tonight's episode, and I have to ask everyone what are their overall impressions about tonight's episode. So let's start with you, Lexi.
I love tonight's episode. I love that all the women got theirs after everything that's happened throughout this whole season. I think like everybody left on a good foot, at least the women. And I was also excited, not for a good reason, but excited to see Casey by the ring because I know that Ashley's going to say no. So I'm excited to see that when she does. So I think there's just a lot going on, very entertaining, and I'm just excited to see what's happening next.
Okay, Missy.
This one was super hot and steamy. Everyone was kind of like in their zone, like with their like partner, or like their potential partner. And I also felt like seeing Casey by the ring was kind of confusing, also surprising, but you know, it's Casey. So I was like, okay, let's just see. I'm excited to see how it's all going to like play down, like work out.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Ashley, do you have any thoughts about the episodes tonight?
I think that it was very interesting to see what Rick was doing with Medina, like to be able to see their date behind the scenes. To me, it's behind the scenes because I didn't get to see it, of course, while I was there. So that was very entertaining.
Yes. Okay, so I'm trying to see which couple. I want to start with Casey and Ashley because, you know, I've had my thoughts about Casey, and I think I'm having to change of heart.
Oh,
really?
Are you?
Okay. Yes.
What?
Okay. Let me explain. So I
Like
thought
it.
Casey was like the good guy, like you know, just a good guy. But I don't know. After watching this episode and the previous episode, I don't know. Casey just seems like he just loves himself. Like the way he talks about Ashley is not in a good way to me. It's like, oh well, I'm gonna just do it because that's what she want, or I'm just like he's being slick.
I do agree from the comment he made about I can pretty much do whatever and she's going to take me back. That's very cocky, but then going back to the relationship, I feel like that's kind of how she's presented it to him in the relationship, which is why it's such a shock for him. But I still think Casey's a good guy. Like, I think besides Rick, and even not Rick, because Rick has kissed Medina and they have done certain things, they just haven't had sex. He's really the only person who has done absolutely nothing physical. He says really stupid stuff, but he hasn't done anything. So I don't want to say he's not a good guy, but I don't think that he's the guy for Ashley anymore. I did in the beginning, but not anymore.
I agree with Lex. Yeah, I feel like Casey, I don't know much about Casey to say he's not a good guy. It's only what we see on TV, but just how he thinks he's going to marry her at the end of this whole season is very odd because it's like he switched up from the beginning to now. It's like, I'm going to marry her. So it's just very confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, Ashley. I mean, what do you think about this whole love triangle with the other Ashley and Casey and Ben? Like, what's going on?
So personally, I love Casey. I mean, I watched the episode and I didn't think of him as negatively as everyone else thought, you know, with the things that he said. I'm like, he's beat up by what he's going through, what he's seen at the bonfires. I just understand that everyone responds to their situations differently. And so I think I just may have had a little more compassion for him because he is being extremely faithful and he hasn't done anything wrong and he's really pushing the girls away. So I was looking at it from from the perspective of him being my man. Like, would I be upset that he said some little shady things? No, he was upset, obviously, because she kissed Ben and he had to watch that. So, of course, he's going to say a few things, like he's insecure in those moments that he's saying the, like, rude little remarks that, like, he wouldn't really care if she left him. He's just trying to hurt her as much as he feels hurt. And so, I don't know. I like Casey.
Yeah, no, I could feel that. It's just, I don't know. It didn't come. I feel like, no. So, he's I just don't think he's good for her. Like, the way he talks, like, when he was talking to one of the girls, the other episode, he was just basically like, oh, I just got to do this. I used to sell stuff. So I used to be a salesman. So I know how to do stuff to get people over. Oh, I just got to cry. Or I just got to do this and she'll come back. Oh, and he just was like, yeah, I'm going to just tell her all the things like she want to hear basically. Oh, she was telling me I love you all the time. But this time I just agree. I always agree her. But this time I'm actually going to tell her. Like, what?
I just think in their relationship, he's like the more cocky one. And she's always been the one who's kind of a little bit more insecure. And I think in this process, she's become a little bit more confident. And he's not used to that, actually.
He not. Because he told her. He told the other girls. He was like, basically... He didn't think that she was going to have fun in the house. He's like, I thought she was going to be depressed and crying. Yes, like
what she was in the beginning.
But listen, but why would you bring your girlfriend on the show if you notice how she's going to act? Like, that don't come off as, like, a little weird to y'all? Like, he's on her on the show. Like, you get what... Ashley, come on now. You get what I'm saying? I know Casey is a good guy, but I'm just saying it's something a little off. I just think he's a little too cocky, or too self-absorbed, or just naive, or just
he's a little odd for sure.
Like, I don't know, but you know, either way, I like that he did put Peyton in her place, though.
Oh my God, please!
Yes. Oh, yeah. I think like, Peyton is annoying. I think she's annoying.
Yeah.
Peyton has showing signs of not wanting you. He doesn't want you, and you can't be upset that he's telling you he doesn't want you. Get over yourself and go away. Stop being a nag. And trying to have a reason to be sad or cry or be upset. Like, he doesn't want you.
Especially somebody like Peyton, because I feel like in this process she's just basically ending up with whoever she can.
Yes,
because
she literally
it was Casey, and then she was in this threesome situation with David, and now she's on this overnight date with Gavin, and it's just like, I'm just going to get in where I can fit in at this
point. To me, she's just trying to be everywhere. And so to me, I see it as her not being genuine, because if you were genuinely invested in KC, you wouldn't have had a threesome with David and whoever else was in David's bed.
I agree.
That's true. And then after that, you go crying to Casey about why he don't want you.
Honestly, she's kind of having a full experience of the island, though. Like, I don't, like, hate on her for that. Because she's been on, like, you know, she got sexy time with David. She went on an overnight date with Gavin. Like, I mean, she's just been, like, kind of experiencing everything, so. I
guess she's playing the rules of the game. So, I mean, it's fair. It's TV. It's
I guess, play the rules of the game, but don't, like, come at Casey like he's doing you so dirty when you literally were just in the bed with David the night before.
That's true.
Right.
She's crazy.
But I'm the last one to talk because I was in my feelings about Rick still after I smashed KB. So.
That's different.
No, that's your
different.
man. That's different.
She really knew KB.
Actually, that's different. You was together. This girl is a single on the island, and she's like just harassed. Like, girl, who are you?
Being extra.
That was a man you've been with for a long time, and y'all have history.
Don't
you
compare
know,
yourself.
No,
not
the same.
Not the same.
Okay, so I'm like, at least let me give her the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
I know how it is to have feelings for two people.
Yeah.
I got you.
No, that's true. And, you know, Casey, he's having a hard time. He's having second thoughts about being in the house now. I think he wants to leave and just go be with his woman. He buys her the ring.
I thought he was going to be like, I'm not going to go on an overnight date with anybody. That's what I thought he was going to do. I think it was unfair for him to string that girl along there anyway. I mean, I'm sure she was happy to get out of the house, but it's like, why am I here? To listen to you whine about Ashley and go ring shopping with you? I know that was awkward.
Wait, Ashley, can you opt out of the overnight date, or do you have to pick someone to go?
You have to pick someone.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's no opting out, if that's how you say it. Like, you just have to pick someone to go.
So, what do you think is going to happen with this ring situation? Do you think he...
But she knows what happened.
Okay, don't answer that. I'm going to save it for predictions.
Can I say what I think's gonna happen?
No, wait. We'll save it for predictions.
Okay.
We'll save it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna save it. I'm not even gonna say it.
Save it.
I'm gonna save it. All right, so yeah, Ashley and Ben, I like them.
They're
I
so
think they're
cute.
I love their chemistry together. I feel like they really have like a good connection.
Yes, it's genuine for sure.
Genuine.
Genuine.
Oh, no?
I just question all of these connections in the house because and you can answer this for me, Ashley, what connection can you really make with somebody who you barely know?
Girl. Oh, sorry.
Well,
Go ahead.
in the time you spent on Temptation Island, 2 days feels like 2 months. We are with these people every single hour.
Yeah.
You get to know them. Like, they become your friends. Like, when you're voting people off, you're sad about it. The dates alone are like 11 hours long. It's exhausting.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's from sun up to sundown. Like, you're driving back to the house when it's really dark. So, like, we know them more than you guys think. And you guys get much shorter clips. Like, we're doing so many different things with them throughout the 30 days that, like, I would understand the Morgan and
Evan.
and Evan situation. Like, I understand it. Like, they fell in love, and I get it, because in that amount of time you're spending every single day with a person, you don't even really spend that much time with your significant other because you have work included, you have school, you have all these different activities in one day. But if you're spending consecutive days with someone and you're not on vacation with them, but you're just like at home with them for consecutive days, like, you're going to get to know so much about them. And so we're on vacation, and vacations is where, like, people fall in love because you're the best version of yourself, and you're more relaxed and in tune with, like, yourself. Because
that's true.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
And plus, they don't have TV.
Yeah.
They don't have cell phones.
Exactly.
They literally just have each other. So you could really get a connection.
Okay. I would just be so concerned because it's like, yeah, we've been around each other a long time and we're in this beautiful paradise, but at the same time we're still on a show, and I would just feel the whole time like you're basically just telling me what you think I want to hear and showing me a side that you think I want to see for the sake of the show and for the sake of nobody wins, but for the sake of looking like you're making a connection on TV. And I would just be so concerned leaving the house like, well, how's it going to be when we're in the real world? Because I've been seeing this perfect view of you while we're on vacation, but I don't really know the real outside of where y'all Maui you know? So
you just gotta trust and believe.
Yeah, it's such a risk. It really is such a risk because to Ashley and Casey, you know, she had been saying she wants to marry Casey, and now she could be giving all of that up for someone that, you know, even though it feels much longer than 30 days, it still is only 30 days.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
That's the fact.
So before we get into the next couple, Missy, you have a message for our viewers?
I do have a message. We just want to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we need your help, so please subscribe on YouTube, give us a rating on iTunes, and leave us a comment. Also, make sure to jump in the live chat so you guys can ask Ashley G anything you want from this show.
Anything.
We love you guys participating and talking about the show with us. We appreciate you all.
Yes, thank you so much for watching us. Now, okay, Ashley and Rick. Now, listen, I have to tell you, Medina, she is irritating. And I'm pretty sure if you watched it before, I'm pretty sure you already know how I feel about Medina. I'm like, girl, please. Girl, too much, right?
Annoying.
Trying to take your man self? No.
Oh my gosh.
So, you know, I was happy though when, you know, Rick basically told her that he wanted to work on things and with Ashley, and, you know, he basically friend zoned Medina, and she took it very well. Surprisingly. I thought she was gonna like.
Oh, I disagree. I think she kind of like complained about it. Like on their date, she complained about it. Like she kept bringing it up.
I don't feel that way. I think she took it well because I feel like he low-key has been kind of playing with her emotions the entire time, because one minute he'll be like, oh, stay away from me, like I'm still trying to figure out my feelings, and then the next minute he's like all in her face. And I felt like the entire season she's kind of been playing this game of, do you like me or do you not like me, like what's up? And I feel like him being like, oh, you're in the friend zone, it's finally like, okay, well at least I have a solid answer of where I stand with you. So I think she took it good in that regard.
Okay, that could be, I feel it. Ashley, how did it feel knowing that he friend zoned Medina? So like it's basically like he chose you.
I mean, you just have to keep watching because so much more happened.
In other words, she ain't cared. No,
I'm like, Ashley, so how did you feel? She's like, girl, whatever.
Yeah.
With her.
Yes. Okay. Well,
I have a question. So, in watching it as you were going through the process, did it bother you that it was only this one girl, or did it not matter who it was?
It didn't matter who it was, because if it was several girls, I would have had an attitude regardless. Did it matter that it was this Medina the whole time? Yes, it definitely hurt, because I was like, okay, he's really connecting with her. He's jealous that she's on a date with Gavin. She's mad about being on the date with Gavin. She wants to be with Rick, and he's giving her like, just like these sweet kind of vibes and making her feel like at home with him. And when your man is making any bitch feel comfortable or at home, you're like, yeah, no, it's not okay.
Yeah. But see, I think, I don't know. Well, you know Rick more than I know, better than I know him. I don't know. I don't think he liked her. I don't think Rick liked Medina. Yeah. I just think he was like, I think she was just annoying, and he didn't want to be like rude to her. So I don't know. You think he liked her? Well, because you know him, so do you think they really had a connection?
I mean, I definitely whispered to him when we were leaving and we saw the singles that I didn't want him to entertain specific people, and she was one of them, and he still entertained her the entire time being there. So yeah, I think he liked her. I think he was attracted to her. I think he liked her, and yeah, you just have to see what happens.
Dang. I was giving Rick such the benefit of the doubt. I was like,
I always felt like he liked her. I just feel like he was just dealing with things emotionally because he, was dealing with the stuff that happened with Ashley.
I kind of felt different.
Really?
Knowing the situation, I kind of felt like he was trying to save his face because everybody's watching. He's a very smart guy. He's very calculated. I just thought that he was trying to be respectful, and like, that is who he is. He's a respectful person, but we have a past,
slick.
So he's Slick Rick.
Slick
That's who we show y'all.
Ooh, man, these men will just trick you.
That's what it was.
I have another question for you, Ashley, because I kind of thought when I saw it, the episode after what happened with you and KB, you showed a lot of regret in that episode. But when you were literally crying the entire episode, but when they had the bonfire, they showed a clip to Rick of you from like nights before, like, oh, I'm going to move on with you. Definitely not how you were feeling before. Did that make you feel some type of way that they did that?
Of course. I was so vexed. I was like, why would y'all like specifically show him some bullshit that is going to push him in another direction? And I was like, okay, so this is to break us up. Like, that's the whole point of this. And then I was like, this whole experience is just going to speed up the fate of whatever is supposed to happen with our relationship. So if we break up, we break up. And I mean, you see me crying a lot because I accept the reality of that potentially happening. And yeah, I keep it moving on the whole thought of him leaving me. I'm like, okay, that could possibly happen, and if it does, it does, and if not, I met some great guys here, and you never know what will happen next.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
Dang.
I gotta say, I am happy on this episode that you went on the date with Jose, because I'm not gonna lie, I thought you all were gonna have something going on way earlier in the season, and I was surprised that it never did.
You like Jose?
A lot happens with Jose. You guys just don't see that because that's not what they wanted you guys to see.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
And then Jose is a lot like me. So me and Jose would like argue like a married couple. And he hated the idea of me like going on dates with KB and not taking him. And so we argued about that sometimes. But like after being with KB, I really felt like kind of tied to KB, and just the idea of Jose being younger than me, like I couldn't accept it because I'm used to dating older guys. So I kept telling myself, like, we don't want the same things. So when we leave the island, it's not even there's no possibility of it happening.
Do you still talk to KB? Like, do you guys have like a friendship, or are you guys like acquaintances? Like, what's the status? I'm just curious.
Yeah, KB and I keep in touch. We're cool.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Okay.
It was a little heated,
Yeah,
that
'cause
argument.
It was a little heated. And, you know, he was very disrespectful. So, like, how do you feel, do you have any regrets about doing, you know, entertaining him so early? Or, like, how do you feel about that whole situation?
Good question. I definitely felt like if I could reverse the time, which I can't, I would have definitely slowed down with KB and got to know him more. And I think I would have learned that I can easily trigger him to like get in his feelings, because we were saying after, like, you know, me doing lives on Instagram, we were saying that I have an alpha spirit as a female. Like, I do not want to be submissive in relationships, and that's the kind of thing that KB likes, and that was one of the conversations that we had, and we could not agree on it. And I was like, you know, I'm not the submissive kind of girl. Like, I'm independent, I do things for myself, I pay all my bills, I do this, I do that, this is how I move. If you can't accept that, then it's just not going to make sense. And so once we had that kind of conversation, we were just like, all right, it fizzled out. And yeah, like I understood like where we stand after that. And I mean, I love him as a friend. I kind of just wish that I allowed him to be my friend versus the guy I entertained the whole season.
Do you think you kind of sped it up because of the comment Rick made about not cuffing you? Was that kind of what drove you to do it?
Yeah. I was so hurt. To me, like, in our culture, like, that means that if you're saying you're not cuffing me, it means you're not claiming me. How are you in a 4.5-year relationship with someone, although we've had our on and off moments? How are you telling everyone, the singles, the single girls, the single guys, production, everyone, and me, in the moment that I need you to tell me that we're going to do this together, we're going to have this experience together, and we're going to beat the odds, whatever, you're telling me you're not cuffing me? You're not even telling me, you're telling everyone else. So I was just like, all right, bet. He's going to make a fool of me. I begged him not to make a fool of me. So I'm going to just go have a damn good time. Why not?
Yeah, no, understandable. Do you think that, so I remember the conversation where you asked, you know, KB about the future. And so I have to ask you, do you think if KB would have said yes, would you have still felt feelings for Rick? Or did you kind of go back to Rick because KB was like, nah? Or like, who you like more, girl?
I don't think you can say what she likes more. She loves Rick. Well, love Rick.
Obviously, the love for Rick is real. With KB, I think over time, I would have seen a lot more, like the characteristics that I could not relate with, that I disagree with, that I didn't like. And I would have definitely left the island with Rick. If it was KB or Rick, I would have definitely left with Rick. So
yeah, KB seemed a little cocky.
I hate him
I
from
feel
day
like after KB seemed, you know, he's from
arrogant.
Long Beach. He one of them LA dudes.
And I'm
Long Beach.
sorry.
He from out here.
I'm sorry, but I love a cocky man. Like, there's nothing wrong with that to me. I'm like, yes, feel yourself. Feel yourself. Be in love with yourself. Yes, let them know. But like, tone it down a bit, KB.
Yeah. He's
Tone
a bit
it down,
much.
KB.
Yeah, tone it down a bit.
Do you think Rick realized your worth way too late? Like, do you think it took him to see that to realize your worth? Because if he didn't see it, would he have realized it during this whole season?
That's a good question.
Very good question. Damn, I'm like, break it down for me. I think that after he saw me with KB, he realized that, okay, someone else can take my girl or can be interested and invested in my girl the same way that I am. And what he always would say to me is that he doesn't want to watch someone else marry me, you know? So that's something that has always like kept us together, in a sense, that he's always, you know, expressed like, I don't want to watch or deal with the heartbreak of someone else marrying you. And so I think that when he saw me and KB actually being physical, like all the pain that I ever felt actually clicked for him, and he understood and took it a different way. Like he interpreted my pain in a different way because he started feeling it himself. So yeah, I think that he realized my worth then.
Dang.
Wow.
Why it always take for the girl to do something?
That's literally
Right,
all
yeah.
it's literally all the guys on this
Why can't
show
you
in
get
general
it?
don't realize it until they see their girl doing something else. Because Casey wasn't talking all that marriage stuff before
Right.
Ashley moved on to Ben.
And Rick over here having second thoughts, over here contemplating his life. I'm
Child.
like, you know what? I will say that this season was such a, you know, a contrast from the first season because it was mainly the girls crying, but this season's the men crying.
Yeah, I feel like it reversed. Like it started off the first episode there, all the girls are crying, and then now it's like a complete 180.
These women is empowered.
Yes.
Okay, they're not crying.
Yes.
Casey crying. That's who's crying.
Really quick, we have someone in the live chat with a question for you, Ashley. She said, is there a strong relationship or significant moment for you that they didn't show us on the show?
I think there were a lot of strong moments for me and KB where we definitely connected, and he shows that he is a genuine person that really has my back. And I always felt like they show me chasing KB down versus like him actually being into me and invested in me throughout the experience. And there are a lot of bad moments, Ashley and KB bad moments versus like all of the good that actually happened that made me like really almost fall in love with this guy.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of those affectionate moments that were deleted scenes, and I'm like, why guys, why?
Those messy producers.
Right, just messy.
Yeah, just to be messy.
Whew, man, child. Y'all ready for this David situation? Cause
We can quickly talk about David because I'm over him.
A whole mess.
okay, so I'm confused. David has literally confused me like every single episode. He literally, you know, cries for Kate and says, you know, I like her. I want to work it out. But then he'll have a threesome. Then he'll, you know, whatever. Then he'll go cry, oh, I want Kate, and now he with Sonita. And now him and Sonita is boyfriend and girlfriend, and now he like, I don't want Kate.
Yeah.
I'm like, how all this happen?
But I'm sure it's going to be a completely different thing when he finally runs into Kate.
Yes.
I'm sure all that I don't want to be with Kate and I want to be with Tanita stuff is going right out the window.
You think so?
I really do think so, honestly.
He look like that from the clips.
Because even when Mark was here and he was saying how mad David has been at him, it's like, why are you mad if you don't want to be with Kate anyway? You got who you wanted, so what do you need to be mad for, you know? So
well, he said he didn't have a threesome. He said
Child.
it wasn't. He said they did not have a threesome.
it don't matter if it was no penetration. He did enough. It was bad enough. Say what?
I said, didn't we see it though? Like,
Right.
It looked like we did, but Mark said they didn't.
Because
He
said
held
they
under her
didn't.
panties.
They said it was just kissing. That was literally it. But you know, we don't know. We wasn't there.
Yeah. I the whole time I was watching it, I was like, this Tanita girl, like, how could you even be all like that with him when he's made it clear that he's a liar? He's made it clear that he doesn't care about his girlfriend. I just feel like you lose them the way you get them. If he would do that to Kate, what makes you think that you're exempt?
Girl, because she's 23.
You don't know.
That's why. She's 23.
No, that's
She
not
don't
an
know
excuse.
yet. She don't know yet, child. She gonna find out real soon.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you the third girl in the house that he hit, basically.
Exactly.
You hit Peyton. Well, he said he didn't, but Sonita was the third girl I say was in a bed with him. Because it was Peyton, Samantha, and now Sonita.
And you're calling this man your boyfriend when he has a whole nother girlfriend already.
Girl,
like,
they broke
what?
up.
They broke up.
They broke up.
She with Dom now.
Oh, Kate.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ashley, girl, how are you feeling about that David? Like, do
How
you
do
think
I
he's
feel about
genuine or
David?
not? Huh?
How do I feel about David?
Yeah, the whole David.
I think it's crazy because when I first met them, I thought they were all really nice guys, very respectful. I was like, what's the complaint? Why are these other people here? Like, 3 years, 1.5, 1.5 versus 4.5. I'm like, what is your problem? Like, you guys are still honeymooning. You're in that state. And their boyfriends all seem like really into them. And David, once I started seeing what he was doing, I was like, he wrote the longest love letter to Kate and
See?
made us all feel like he was extremely invested in their relationship and snuck this love letter to her. Like production didn't even know about it. He like snuck it to her like when we were we were filming and we were going into the guy's house to meet the singles and we were already separated. He like put it in her dress or something while he hugged her. And
Aw.
she like read it to us and it was all about him making sure that he was gonna honor their relationship, and he did
Really?
the complete opposite. And so we were just like shook up when we saw the video. We were like, first of all, this looks like pornography.
It does.
Yeah.
Like it was intense, and then I saw my scene, so I was like, okay. but I mean, I thought that he was gonna be, respectful and honor her, and he did the opposite of that, and so I feel like he's an asshole.
Yeah, I feel like Kate is so much like she's better than him, and I feel like she's more mature. And I really felt for her. Like she had to watch basically She had two bonfires with clips. She had to watch clips with him basically in the bed with other women. Like I know that has to be hard. And I feel you guys were talking. Were you talking to Kate this episode? Or was it
Yeah.
Yeah. How did she? How was she getting through? Like what? I just imagine it was hard.
She was definitely overwhelmed. She was sad. She was confused. Kate definitely, like me, had real life goals for her relationship. And so she was just very hurt by, the entire experience and seeing what she saw at the bonfires. And I think she was really in disbelief. Like it was hard for her to believe it. And she really just wanted to hear what he had to say.
Whoa, child.
In seeing what he was doing to Kate and Kate kind of just not doing anything with anybody in the house, where there are moments where you're like, girl, have fun, like do something, like go hook up with Dom.
Well,
like,
she did.
Eventually she did, but
She did.
But before now, were you like, girl, like what's up, like do something.
Yes, I was so over it. I was like, so you're here, there are 12 single guys, your man slept with all the girls in the villa, like, so what are you doing?
Yeah,
basically.
And I felt like I was always the girl because I had that, incident with KB in the very beginning. I always felt like I was the girl that helped the other girls let their guards down. They were moving at their own pace, and, that's respectful. I understand it. We were on TV, and I regretted what I did right away, but I felt like I helped Kate kind of like get out of her own head. And like I can't own any of that, like seriously, but I felt like she deserved to get out of her own head because she didn't owe anything to David. She didn't owe him loyalty. She didn't owe him any respect, anything, after he decided to have a threesome and then continue entertaining people throughout the entire experience. Whereas I personally, like everyone's going to come at me if I don't say this, but it's true. I had my situation with KB, and then right after that, KB and I, we were like, all right, this isn't going to work because of our personalities. Well, he said that to me. And I accepted it. And behind the scenes, it was a mutual agreement. And we parted ways, and I was like, you know what? Like, I understand that this might be a sign that like Rick and I should really work things out. And if we do, then we're really meant to be. And if not, then Temptation Island got us.
Yeah.
Well, I was happy for Kate. I'm happy that her and Dom.
So happy.
I was like,
Good
girl,
choice.
you better, because your man, he was living his best life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Over there.
What do y'all
okay?
think about Dom?
Wait, what you like as far as how he look, how he act, like
Everything. What do you think?
I feel like he could use like a
Okay,
y'all
so
go
on a
ahead.
one
Go
to
ahead.
He's nice. I don't think Kate actually liked him. I think he just was lucky in the fact that she had kind of reached her breaking point with her boyfriend, and that was her moment to kind of get
she wanted to have
hers.
fun.
But
Yeah.
I don't think she would ever entertain him in real life, because I feel like she barely liked him in the house.
Yeah, Missy.
I think she just wanted to have fun, like let loose, and like what Ashley was saying, she was like, you know, your man like was being so unfaithful to you while at Temptation Island. Let's just have fun and like what she said in this episode.
Yeah.
She just wanted to taste some chocolate.
That chocolate girl. That chocolate.
Did she like him? Did you think that she was interested in him?
I thought she was interested in him. I mean, I thought she was taking her time though. But to me, she seemed very interested in him. I mean, she consistently took him out on dates in comparison to like the other guys, where she took the other guys on dates and she didn't really have a good time. And I don't even know if they expressed that, but like she would tell us like, oh, it wasn't as fun. And so I thought she had feelings for Dom, because, you know, if I took someone else other than KB on a date, it wasn't always fun for me. It was like, oh, this is cool, but it wasn't fun. Like, it wasn't like, you're like, oh, yes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like,
Like, I'm so
Yes.
have those feelings. Yeah.
like Ashley and who was
Ben.
that? Ben.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
That was so cute. They kissed under the waterfall.
That felt like a music video.
I mean,
She gave him the goods. I was like, oh, Ashley, live your best life.
I thought they had already done it.
Oh, you did?
sis.
I did. But speaking of Ashley, we have another question from someone in the live chat. They said, did Casey know about Peyton's in the threesome? And if so, how did he react? I don't know how you would know that because you weren't in the house, but maybe you know?
Did Peyton know?
Did Casey know about Peyton being in that threesome with David?
I think honestly, the guys all have a sincere bromance, so I believe Casey knew as soon as it happens, because they like cheer each other on. And all the other guys knowing that Casey was all about Ashley, they wouldn't be afraid to share that news with Casey, because Casey had no real feelings for Peyton. He was pretty much just entertaining her out of, you know, being there, and like, you really kind of feel like you have to entertain someone, and it might as well be a friend. He to me, he wanted to friend zone her, but he just chose not to, because she was in her feelings about him doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, well, that basically, we're almost
We
done.
gotta
But
talk about my
ask-
girl,
I gotta
Asonica.
ask. Oh, Asonica. What
Yes.
I love
we have
Asonica and
to.
Kareem.
Yes, because she finally kissed him, and she even went further than kissing him. And I just want to clap it on up, because I've been waiting on this moment. Yes, Sonic, finally.
Right?
We do love Asonica.
And he's been so patient the entire season, doing all the right things, and it finally worked out for him.
Yeah.
So.
Gavin's so corny though.
Gavin is corny. That's why I don't even know why she's with Gavin. Is like the lamest,
So
corniest
lame. Corny.
person. That's why he don't get no camera time.
But
If
you
y'all
know-
pay attention,
He had a whole
he don't get no
dialogue.
cameras. This episode was the episode he got the most cameras. I'm like, boy.
Well,
we
you
don't
know,
see
they
you.
were saying that people were saying that they felt like Gavin and Asonica didn't have a real relationship. You were there. Do you think it was real? Well, was it real? Yes.
Honestly, the way people be fighting and arguing, like, it's real.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
love what it's.
real.
Oh, go
like,
ahead. Sorry.
you don't have time to invest all these feelings that we've all invested if it's not real. And so when people say it's fake, I'm just like, that's so disrespectful, because you weren't there all those nights I was crying like king eyes out. Like, and the nights she was crying and hurt and like just disgusted with what she did, like, people weren't there for that. So like to just write her relationship off and say it's not real, it's like, all right, come on. You see how loyal she was to Gavin the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
She tried her best. And then Sonic, she is so specific when it comes to words. Like that is something that affects her. Like she listens and interprets everything and analyzes it. So when he was saying that he wasn't sure about her being the one, she took that to heart the same way I took when he said to heart. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she just eventually opens up to KB, and I mean, she eventually opens up to
Kareem.
Yeah. I love what Asanika said when she said that, you know, he may have matured, but did you mature enough for me? Mm-hmm. I'm like, girl, that's real.
I like her and Kareem.
She's so
yeah,
smart.
I feel like they need to lead together. Her and
I like them.
Gavin is so lame. I'm sorry. I love Asanika. We love you, but Gavin, no.
Why do y'all not like Gavin? What do you not like?
He's
about
a goofy, a cornball. Like he just ain't blah. Like
they don't.
corny.
They seem like they don't really have anything in common. Like I feel like with her and Kareem, there's such a connection there.
Yeah.
With her and Gavin, it was just like, oh, we're together.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't even see a friendship. I don't see it.
I don't see how they're like.
I can't see it.
Romantically.
But remember, they paint the picture for you.
Yeah.
Show you what you want to see. They show you what you want, what they want you to see.
Yeah.
To go with the story.
I mean, personally, when I had interactions with Gavin, because in the beginning, me, Rick, and Asanika and Gavin were always together, like grabbing food and things of that nature. In the very beginning, I got to see Gavin's personality, and I thought he was corny in the beginning too, because I was like, no swag. And then I got to know him, and I was like, oh, he's cool and he's really funny.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, all right, I get it.
We can do that. Mm-hmm. Well, before we end, I just have to ask you, is there anything you want to tell us before you leave? Anything to look forward to on the rest of the season? Or, girl, any type of tea you got for us to look like? Well, girl, tell us.
Okay. What do I want to tell you? I think 2 things. I'm going to say definitely watch the reunion. And the reunion is crazy. Like, it's so fire. Yeah. I didn't want to be there. Some people aren't there. And it's a hot mess. But you definitely have to watch the reunion, because the reunion really tells you what happens. How these, like, the story really ends. Were people living a fairy tale? And it was all bullshit, or are they really happy? And I don't know if everyone, the second thing is, I don't know if everyone gets their happily ever after, but I'm happy.
Yeah. No, I don't want you to tell us anymore, because don't tell us no more. We're excited to see it. We're excited to see it. So thank you so much.
I'm not saying that it ends how you guys want it to end. I'm just saying personally, I'm happy.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's all that matters.
We're glad you're happy.
Yes. So before you leave, can you tell us where we can find you on social media?
You guys can follow me on Instagram, @AGoldSun at @AGoldSun. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
you are always welcome.
Thank you so much.
Conversation. You gave us a lot of tea, girl. Thank you.
Thank you.
Missy, where can we find you at?
You guys can follow me on all social media platforms at Missy Vernier.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Lexi Fierce.
Everybody, I'm AJ. Follow me on Instagram at Crimson Pearl, and I'll check you guys out next week. Same time, same place.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.